Hello and welcome everyone. Today we have a very special guest and her name is Gugu Makhari. Welcome Gugu. Please
Thank
introduce
you.
yourself to us, where you're coming from, and we are looking forward to hearing your story and your wisdom.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much, Magdalena, for inviting me. I'm excited to be part of Miss Immigrant USA and part of this podcast today. I'm Gugu Makhari from South Africa. I moved to the US about 5 years ago in 2018. Yeah, and it's been a very exciting journey, a very challenging one. Uh, but it was worth it. So yeah, I'm just loving my life now, like with so much changes. I mean, like when I left South Africa like 5 years ago, I didn't have as much friends from all these cultures, from all these nationalities that I have today. So it's really exciting.
Why did you decide to come to the United States in the first place?
Okay, in my case, it was to really improve my life. I never had dreams to move to the US. In fact, I wanted to move to Switzerland, at some point in my life. But tragedy that I was facing, like, led me to make a decision to come here. I looked, I thought about things, and when I looked, I thought, you know what, actually moving to the US will be better. It will help improve my life. There was just a lot going on, like emotionally, mentally, like physically, that was going on with me. And moving here really was a good decision. It really helped me like move forward. Yeah.
What was your first impression when you landed in the United States?
Okay, I already had been here before.
Okay.
Maybe about 10 years prior to me moving here, I was already coming in and out just to visit friends. I actually have family here. I'm just not that close to them. But I used to come, like, so there was nothing new for me. I don't remember the really first experience, but I think the first experience when I came here to visit was not what I had expected, because a lot of people, when they come as immigrants, they expect streets of gold, they expect everything to be perfect. We don't think in our heads that it's just another country that is as normal as the country where you come from, maybe with
Yes.
its own dynamics. But then it's just normal life. There's nothing different. Like we still wake up every day and have to face our lives and go on
Yes.
with our lives and work hard just like other people do. I feel like it's more challenging when you are an immigrant in another country. Yeah.
Do you think that it was different for you as well as an immigrant, as a female immigrant, that if you were a man? Do you?
Definitely, in some ways, like being a female has its advantages, and being a male has its advantages and disadvantages. Um, so I guess being a woman, you get more help,
Okay.
from just strangers. Let me just put it that way. Like it's barely like you'll find a man that's gonna be standing by the subway there, that's gonna find another man to say, "Oh, let me swipe for you." Like when you're a woman, it's easy for someone to say, like, "Oh, let me just
Help
swipe for
you.
you." Yeah,
Ah.
at some point, I mean, I didn't have much money, and I had to decide: am I gonna eat something today, or am I gonna use that for subway? So I had to find myself in situations where people had to do those favors for me as a woman, and it was easy. It's always easy for someone to want to do something for you as a woman, because we are more vulnerable. So as a man, people don't usually assume that you are in a difficult position, or like you weak at some point or whatever. Like men tend to act strong. They tend to like,
Okay.
even expectations about men, they're high. So yeah, like as women, we usually, like you can usually see it when a woman is in a disadvantage or a position, or even if you don't see it, sometimes we always get offers, like, yeah, so it becomes easier than men, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny you mentioned the Metro card, because actually I was in the same position. There were times at the beginning when I had to make the decision: am I going to eat today, or am I going to, take the subway and spend it on the subway and go look for a
Right.
job? But
Right.
but
Yeah.
you were better. I didn't think about asking people to swipe for me.
I had to. I
Yeah.
never had to actually really ask anyone to swipe for me. It's just me being there that
Mm-hmm.
made people like, what are you doing here? Does she need a swipe? And they would just offer,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Thank God I never
great.
had to go back. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when later on I started working and I had the monthly Metro card, and sometimes I saw people. So when I was coming back home and when I saw people waiting, I knew that they're waiting for someone to swipe them. So I used to swipe them.
Yeah. That's the beauty about New Yorkers because New
Yes,
Yorkers will do that for you, no doubt. Yeah.
yes,
They love helping. Yeah.
yes. Because we go through the same experiences.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What was? Do you remember like if there was like really tough moment when you came and it was really hard and you almost wanted to give up? What was the feeling
Yeah.
and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I actually remember vividly. Like when I moved here, I stayed with a relative. Let me just put it that way. And within a month, I had gotten a job. I worked as a bartender, but it wasn't paying me as much.
Mm-hmm.
The demand was more for me to pay rent and help
Yes.
out than what I was getting. So it didn't really make sense, and I didn't get any peace or sleep at some point in my life from the
Mm-hmm.
relative who was telling me, "Oh, you know what? If you don't do something about contributing better than you're doing, you're gonna have to find a way to get out of here." And those are tough decisions. And I remember my son had to come visit too, just the day before his flight. Yeah, like I was told he is not welcome.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, because we're already having tension in the house. Why are you bringing your son?
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that, let me just say, were discouraging. They really made me think hard about my stay around here. But I thought to myself, you know what? I didn't make a mistake coming to this country, and I believe in God, and I've seen God do amazing things in my life, and I chose to trust God in everything that I was doing, and he really made a way for me. Like there were people that he brought into my life that really came when I least expected it. And I remember, like, just after I was threatened by the person I was staying with, to say if you don't find yourself contributing a little more, you're going to have to find yourself homeless.
Wow.
And I didn't take that very light. I was volunteering somewhere where she didn't even know. Like I was doing like a lot of stuff that she didn't know about, like volunteering. Because if I had told her I'm volunteering somewhere, she would have made that a big deal that, oh, you're volunteering somewhere, so you have time to go volunteer, but why can't you use that time to go find a job? But she didn't understand that. It's not like she didn't understand, she's an immigrant herself, but she didn't want to understand what my circumstances were. But thank God for people like that, because she pushed me to want to work harder. She pushed me to look for more options. So
Mm.
sometimes we have those kind of situations, and we think they are there to break us, but they're actually there to help us. Depends on how you look at the situation. So with me, I always like to find something positive out of a situation, no matter what the situation looks like. So I took that as a way for me to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I just casually mentioning to someone that I was volunteering with at the time. And they just mentioned to me, "Oh, don't worry." And from nowhere, I just got a call a couple of months later. And the person just had the keys and like, "You're still looking for an apartment?" And I was just shocked. And that's how I really got my apartment. I had two options. I had to choose between Coney Island and like the Bronx, and I chose the Bronx because it was in the center of like really most places that I wanted to be. So it
Mm-hmm.
helped me. Yeah. So that's what happened in my case.
Yeah, an angel sent from above.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
Uh, I know, Gogo, you are truly an amazing person. I had a chance to learn a little bit about you. You have such a huge heart for helping others. Can you share a little bit about all the volunteering work that you do and
Yeah. Okay.
how this actually influences you emotionally and does it help you to in the difficult situations? Does it bring you peace? Does it bring you joy?
Okay, so I've started volunteering from a very young age. I used to just go to different like centers, outreach programs. It started from church. For me, it started with actually my grandmother. Like she was feeding like a whole lot of homeless people growing up. So I saw it from her. I saw my mom do the same thing as well. And then when I moved here, it's something that was already innate. Like it's something that I really loved, doing because I've learned from my mom and my grandmother. And for some reason, I always believe that giving brings good fortune.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen in my case that I never lack anything. Like I may not have much, but I've never stayed a day without food. I've never been homeless. So for me, that's the greatest blessing because I just feel like God blesses people in different ways. Like I might help someone with something, but God might help me back in other ways. So in my case, always felt that was the case. So here right now, I cook for homeless people at my church. Yeah, and I love doing it. It's so nice to actually see their smile on their faces when they're eating. Like from time to time when I'm cooking and we're serving, I go to the hall where we serve and just like have conversations with the people just to see if they're enjoying the food,
Yeah.
if they have any complaints. If they barely have any complaints, they usually love the food. They're always grateful, and it just makes me smile, because I've seen myself in situations where I was desperate, but thank God, like He always brought help for me, and I just felt like, what? There's always people that need help. There's always people. There's always somewhere where one can contribute, like volunteer their time, like to help. There's a lot of help that is needed in the world. So for me, it makes me feel good knowing that at some point in my life, actually I tried to take my life because I was going through so much prior to me coming here. That's one of the reasons that brought me here, to improve my life. But during that time, I had a thought in mind that said, find a charity and go contribute your time there. And it made such a huge difference because I started looking at my situation differently. Like instead of looking at myself as unfortunate, I started realizing that I'm actually fortunate. There's people that are worse off. Like I had a home, I had a roof over my head. I still had food at home, even if there was complaints, there was this and that, but there was still like something for me to like to look forward to. Like, so we have people that don't have anything, they don't know where they're gonna get their next meal every single day. Those are their challenges. So whatever I can to make a difference, I love it, and I will, and I'll keep on doing it for the rest of my life for sure. And I will tell or encourage anyone, if they really, really like are in a situation in their lives that they're dealing with emotionally, it will be best to put themselves in a position where they can help others. It will help them. Like it just does somehow. When you help someone else, it really does help you. It makes such a huge difference in your life. Yeah, the fulfillment that you've helped someone else, the difference that you can potentially make in someone else's life.
Yeah.
And like comparing their challenges to your challenges always will make you feel better. That's for sure.
You are as well involved with a lot of activities and work at the UN. Tell us about this. How did it started? What's your goal there? What you would like to achieve?
Okay, so I volunteer for two organizations. They are registered under the ECOSOC at
Once
the
again,
UN.
can you repeat once again?
ECOSOC.
Echo,
Oh, I volunteer ECOSOC.
EcoSoc.
So I volunteer for Global of Sustainable Development Goals Inc. as a chair commission for women rights, human rights, and youth council. I'm very passionate about human rights. I'm passionate about women's rights. I'm a woman first. So, of course, I advocate for women's rights. Every woman actually pretty much advocates for women's rights because we're always fighting for our rights as women. We're always pointing out things that are not fair. We always showing off what women can do or what they're capable of. So that's like part and parcel of advocacy, as a woman. Like, so I feel like it's in us as women to advocate for women's rights automatically. So yes, as a virtue of me being a woman, definitely I'm passionate about women's rights. And then youth council, I've always worked with young people. Like part and parcel of me giving my time was giving my time to a center in Soweto, which housed orphans, a lot of kids that are HIV positive, vulnerable kids. So working with those kids, it made me want to work more with the young people, because those are kids that came from backgrounds where they have no role models per se. They don't have anyone speaking to them. They have no father figure, mother figure. So they are lost, and it's not easy for them to navigate through life. Some of us are navigating through life because we grew up reading books, we grew up having people. Like I had my mom, I had my grandmother. Those were people that were an inspiration in my life. Like those are people that are telling me, oh, education is very important. It's very important that you carry yourself this way as a woman. It's very important that you educate yourself. So there are kids that don't get to hear none of that. Like they literally have to graze themselves. They go through very, very harsh situations. They go through hostile situations. They live in hostile environments. They're being taken advantage of. So I can imagine as a child not having so much like anyone speaking positively in your life, and you have to make decisions by yourself. Like, come on, that cannot be healthy. That cannot be right. So I took the stand to actually say, you know what, I'm going to take my time and actually help these kids. I used to help them make vision boards. We'll discuss the future. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Where do you want to live? There's no limits in life. Just remember that. Like, you can be whatever that you want. And they needed to hear that. And I'm not in contact today with them, but it would be nice to hear where they are today. Yeah. I'm sure there's some of them like that became what they didn't think they would become. Like some of them maybe are doctors or lawyers or have their own business, because I know it did make a difference that I was there and helping them like every single time, while I was going through my own issues, and that helped me. I even forgot I was depressed at some point because I was helping these kids so much. I was so involved with their lives that I forgot about mine, but it helped, yeah.
Where would you like to take your initiative? What would be your dream job, or what would you like to achieve in the future with your work?
Not only am I volunteering for global sustainable development goals in SPAT, I also volunteer for March for Our Planet, where we march for climate change and inform collegians globally. I want to see the world in a better place one day. Like, I want to see peace. Like, I want to see more young people getting more involved in these initiatives where they want to make this world a better place. But I definitely want to like see myself leave the world better than I found it, or better than what it is like today now with everything that's going on. I've decided already I want to be in politics, because there's so much that I've been watching, or we've been watching, that's going on with our leaders. We've seen how things are ran. We've seen a lot of things that we need changed. And I just felt like, you know what, be the change that you want. And the only way to be the change that you want is by getting involved. And I've decided, since I really want to see so much change, I really want to get involved physically. I want to be part of this so that I can see those changes that I want. I want a more fair and just world, like where people have justice. Like, people shouldn't live in fear. Like now, today we have people that live in fear. They don't know what's going to be like tomorrow. We have people right now in Gaza that, I'm not trying to be political right now, but I'm just stating out facts that are sitting, like they don't even know whether to sleep. They can't even sleep. They can't even be happy. They can't even probably be eating. They probably just eating because they are hungry at that time, but you're not even enjoying what you're eating because you don't know what's next. You don't know what will happen when you blink. You don't know if you're going to see this person you're sitting next to like tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to be alive tomorrow. I can't imagine a life.
Yeah.
That is so sad. That is a very, very sad life. And that just shows you like how far we've gone, like
Yeah.
as human, well, in terms of like there's no compassion, like there's no love. Those are things that I want to fight for: the love, justice. I'm tired of seeing ministers and seeing people that are in power abusing the power and authority that they have, taking advantage of people. They sleep with a full stomach every single day. But
Yeah.
some of the leaders that we have today, they don't think about the majority of the population. They don't care about them. They just care about what they can get out of a situation and what they can do to help the few ones that are very close to them, which usually is their family.
Yes.
And that's not fair. That needs to come to an end. We all need to like love each other. We should all embrace each other. We should all help each other. Yes.
Amen.
So those are
Beautiful.
the changes I want to see. Yeah.
I am with you, Gogo.
Mhm.
It's there's so much work, and it does look like we are going backward instead of forward
Exactly.
as
Mhm.
humans. You have been here 5 years, yes, you said. Do you miss South Africa? Do you miss your home?
Yeah, of course I miss home. And I'm also a mother. I
Yes.
left my son in South Africa. He's now 16 years. The last time I saw him, he was about to turn 13. Yeah, he was about to become a teenager,
That
So
must
I
have
haven't
been
seen him.
that must be really hard for you, yes.
It is very hard, but also you have to like train your mind, not to be so, not to dwell on that type of pain, because it can destroy you, like you're not seeing your child
Yeah.
and you're in a different country and there's really nothing to do you can do about it. I found myself so depressed because I was thinking about my son all the time.
Yeah.
I would call, he would not answer his call. I have no control over it. I would be so angry with him by the time I get to speak to him. And then I decided, you know what, um, I believe in God, like I said. I pray and I tell God. God knows my pain. He knows the situation, and my son knows I love him. I've done it like what I could as a mom, and there's only so much that you can do as a person. So I've learned not to worry about things that I have no control over. So now I just do what I can.
Yeah.
Uh, I call my son as much as I can. If he picks up the phone, he picks up the phone. If he doesn't pick up, it doesn't pick up. I send him a text to say I love him. He's seen that I love him. I do what I can. Like, I'm not going to go rob a bank just because I want to please my son. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the right thing and do what I can to improve my life. I know I'm doing it for him, not just myself, but for him as well. Whatever I do for him as well. So I really miss home. I miss my family. I miss my siblings. I miss friends that I grew up with, my childhood friends. I miss that. I miss the environment. I miss the food. I miss a whole lot of things. I mean,
How are you
it's
dealing?
so.
How are you dealing with it?
How am I dealing with it?
Yes. Yeah.
I try to, well, we have a community here of South Africans. I try to attend some of the events when I can. I still keep in touch with some of the people at home. Um, I buy some food, South African food sometimes, like if I'm able to find it. If I even on Amazon, they have some South African
Yes.
like food that you can buy.
Are there any
So I
stores? Are there any stores in New York where like we can go and buy some South African food?
barely. There's We are known for wine, so we
Oh
have like a
yes.
lot of places where you can buy good South African wine. They have it in a lot of
I guess
places.
you drink wine and you forget about missing your
Your
home.
problems.
We need some wine.
Yeah, but we do have some stores that have like some of our food. Yeah, yeah, not everything though, because we don't have a lot of South Africans, but we do have some South Africans as well that do sell food from home. Like we have something called bors. Bors is like sausage.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's nice. It has its different taste. It's just so nice. Like so when they do the barbecue, they use the bors like to barbecue, and it tastes so amazing. So we have some of the people within our community that sell it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
they sell
I
it.
don't know if you knew, but Poland we are as well big on sausages.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I
Yeah.
remember when I was attending one of the events,
Uh-huh.
and I saw like the small sausages that
Yeah.
yes, when we had the food. That was really nice. Oh wow, yeah, we love sausages too.
Yes, and barbecue, always barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are good
We just
meals.
call our barbecue braai.
Bry?
Yeah, braai. Yeah.
What does
It's called
what does it mean?
barbecuing.
Ah,
Like
barbecuing.
when you
Bry.
barbecue, but ours is called braai.
Do you have any like objects or something from home that you carry with you that maybe helps you to, keep the memories with you?
Yeah, a lot. I
Ah,
was
okay.
actually about something.
Oh, you don't have to
You
show me
know,
now, unless you have something. Hold,
okay, hold on.
hold on.
I have a lot.
Yes.
I would have stuff like accessories.
Oh wow.
Hold on, there was something else. Oh man, I wish I knew in advance. Oh yeah, this.
Next time we can make a special one. What is that?
This is a tradition. Like it's traditional. It's something that typically when we have traditional events, they would use it to
Dancing.
when we're dancing, they use this. They use it as an accessory when you're dressed. Yeah, you can wear this as an accessory. Even this is an accessory that you wear. You can use to decorate in your house.
Oh.
It has all the fabrics, different
Uh-huh.
fabrics in Africa. Yeah, so I always have stuff like that. Even the even the food that I usually would buy in Amazon, it's usually stuff that remind me of my childhood, like the type of stuff that I like to buy. Yeah, so I do have a lot of things that remind me of home. Pictures as well. A picture of me and my son, picture of me and some friends. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. You decided last year to join Miss Immigrant. What prompted you to do it?
I thought it was very interesting because I mean I'm an immigrant first of all, like myself, and I just felt
Yeah,
like
there is.
having this contest is actually a great idea, especially because it's not a beauty pageant. I just felt okay. I just felt like okay. I love modeling first of all,
Okay.
and I was curious when they said Miss Immigrant because I thought was it like that type of modeling that I'm thinking about, or but then it turned out to be more of what I'm really into, like what I believe in. Like I'm really an outreach type of a community based person. Like we said, we're talking about changes, and I said there's so many things that I want to change, and I just feel like being on Miss Immigrant, it kind of speeds up the process, like for you to really get there. Like politically, I mean, I wouldn't have otherwise met so many politicians if I was not on Miss Immigrant. When I learned more about Miss Immigrant USA, like I remember joining. It was so funny when you sent me the request to join because I had just lost my phone.
Yes, I remember.
So it was so interesting because I had just lost my phone. I had no other alternatives to get a phone. But then something said to me like I should ask a friend to check to go to my Facebook and check stuff. I don't know. I felt like there was something that I needed to check on Facebook. I don't know what it was, but funny enough, it was this. And then I get this message. I'm like, whoa! No wonder was feeling so compelled to checking my Facebook. And I'm not that person. If I don't have something, I don't have something. I won't ask someone like give it to me, like borrow me your phone. No, I won't. And when I checked, I saw that and I thought, oh my God, I don't want to miss this because I've been coming across Miss Immigrant USA and I was always curious about what it is, and learning from you. Yeah, when I met you, I did ask you a couple of questions before. So, like learning from that, I thought, oh, that's not a bad idea at all. So I was happy actually. It was like such a great opportunity for me, and I had just started my cooking business as well, which was home based. That was another challenge because I had just started a cooking business with Wood Spoon, but now it's like a home-based business, and now Miss Immigrant, like you have to be at different venues, and I had to make a decision. What's going to serve me long term, even though yes I do need the money now and this and that, but like I was thinking about long term. I always think about long term, what's going to serve me in the long term. For me this made sense to stay on Miss Immigrant long term, like so that I can have sustain let me just put like, or reach my goals. Let me just put it that way. Since I do want to be a politician, I do want to serve in the community. Yes, I'm volunteering, but like the type of volunteering was not taking me to where I wanted to go like as quick as I want to. Let me just put it that way. I've been volunteering all my life. Let me just put it that way. But I wasn't able to do the stuff that I wanted to do.
So do you
Like, you see what I mean?
so do you think Miss Immigrant help you to do things quicker?
I feel that way. Like, I was already affiliated with the United Nations, yes, volunteering for Much for Our Planet and Global of Sustainable Development Goals, Inc. I could have been where I want to go, but I felt like Miss Immigrant speeded up the process because of the events that we get to go to attend, and then the people that we get to meet. You understand what I mean? So I was able to speak like to a lot of people. Like, I didn't even know my community in the Bronx, but I attended one of the events that I got invited by Miss Immigrant. I remember, and that's when I met the Port Hall president, Miss Vanessa Gibson, and I also met other people that she works with. And funny enough, that meeting particularly was for NGOs. So yeah, I don't know if you remember that invitation that you sent to the restaurant. So it was for NGOs, and I got to like meet everyone that I needed to meet. You know, otherwise that I wouldn't have just met like that. You know, it was different. Like, I even had a conversation with someone I met a couple of months later. The person, I think they were mentioning something about what they want to do in the Bronx. They live in the Bronx, and what they wanted to do. And I said, you know, what would have worked better was for you to be at this meeting where the NGOs were all at, because that helped connect the dots. Like, everyone that you were meeting, like with me, it's so funny because I had just met, maybe last year, I met a lady who was working with young people, with the youth, and we met in the train. We exchanged numbers, but I lost that phone, so I couldn't get hold of her. So now, being on Miss Immigrant USA, I'm attending one of the meetings. I'm going to the meeting now, and I bump into her. She's one of the first people that I bumped into, like, when I was there, and she remembered me very well. I remembered her so well, and we were able to talk again. You understand? So that really helped me reconnect with her and meet a lot of other people in the Bronx that are doing a whole lot of beautiful community work. I got to be invited to so many other places. I got to be introduced to so many leaders after that, and now I'm also working very closely with the city council. I think there was also another event that was in our calendar at some point that I attended in Harlem. And that helped me because when I went there, I didn't even know that meeting was championed by South Africa. And a senator, like there's Cordell Clare. And I attended that meeting. And from that meeting, I was able to be connected to another office, like the city council's office. And now I'm so close to the city council's office, and the city council's office is always bringing me a lot of stuff. Even now, I'm volunteering with Kwanzaa Film Festival, which was going on the whole week. It's because of the city council that connected me to them. And now I have a good relationship with the lady that's organizing the event. She does this on her own every year.
Wow.
And I realize now she needs a lot of help. And now, with me wanting to write, I'm writing my book and wanting to turn my book into a movie, I already have people that want to help me do the movie, because of Miss Immigrant. Yeah, so it's like I don't take it for granted. Whenever I am given an opportunity to be somewhere, in my calendar, I make sure that I show up if I can. If I'm not able to, it's because there's a very serious reason. But when I'm there, also, I make sure I use the time, to connect with people, to find out what people do and tell people what I do, who I am. And that way I'm able to connect. Every time I attend a meeting, I already have people that I've connected with, and there's something of substance. So that's what makes me want to be on Miss Immigrant USA and believe in it so much, because it really takes you to a different level, and it's up to you as a participant, or what you do with those opportunities. With me, it really brought me a lot of opportunities. I don't want to lie to you. Some of them, I don't even know what to do with those opportunities. It's not like I don't know what to.
So please tell me more.
So much has happened. Like, I mean, I told you, first of all, I've expanded my network with Miss Immigrant. I've done so many podcasts as well, interviews, where I met people through our events. And when I told them, oh, I'm participating on Miss Immigrant USA, representing South Africa, and they're like, oh, really? So like, oh, let's do an interview here. And they really got excited. They wanted to do that. So I've done 2 interviews already. Yeah, totally talking about my story as an immigrant, and talking about the dynamics and the challenges and the good things about being an immigrant. So yes, that helped. And like I said, I want to be in politics. I mean, like we do network a lot with a lot of politicians, I mean, borough presidents, like elected officials, I mean, assembly members. Yeah, so that gives me the opportunity to ask the questions that are relevant with regards to politics, and also like to observe closely about what it is that they do and how they're contributing and what changes I can make. And yeah, so it helps me in that sense. Also, I feel like with us as participants being from different backgrounds, it's also helpful because we're learning from each other. Yeah, we learn a lot from each other. Like, look how close I am to the Bangladesh community now.
Yes.
I'd never thought, I didn't even know Bangladeshi people. I didn't know them. I didn't even have one single person that I knew from Bangladesh. That's the
Same
truth.
here.
Except
Yeah.
for the people where I was doing my eyebrows here in the Bronx. I know them. But I never really had a chance to really talk to them that much because
Yeah.
they are in business. That place is always packed. They're just about doing their business. What are you doing? You know, you pay, you leave.
Yes.
So there's never really a chance to like ask questions. And yeah, now I have that chance, an opportunity to ask questions. I have friends from that community now. I have Shreya from Nepali community now who took a liking in me and started inviting me so many times to like
Yes.
different events with Nepali, and I'm learning. Like she took me to different restaurants too to teach me about their food. We go to all these events with Miss Immigrant USA. If Chinese is doing something, we are learning about the cuisine as well as the culture. We are meeting people, we are making friends. I can count so many friends I've made. Yeah, even some of the African cultures. People think like just being an African, it means you know everyone that's African. We speak so many different languages.
Yes.
We come like Africa has 54 countries. Like Nigeria alone has more than 500 dialects. In my country, we speak at least 11 official languages, and I know all of them. But like, imagine like knowing that there's so much Africans. You know, it's also like a dream and a wish for some of the Africans to know other Africans. You know that? Yeah. It doesn't mean just because I'm like African and I meet you and we're just gonna be friends. It doesn't mean that. I still have to know you just like I know anyone else, and meet you and know about you, about your culture. So I'm also learning from my also African people. You know, I'm learning from your community as well. I mean, like I went to a Ukraine event. I didn't know Ukraine and
Poland.
Sorry, like a Polish where they share a lot. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know, like in Poland, there's so many Ukrainians that stay there. I didn't even know, like the history. Even when we invited us to go to watch the movies that they did about Ukraine, about the wars there, it was interesting to learn that a lot of people like actually went to live in Poland.
Yeah, refugees.
It was. Yes, you know, it was so interesting to learn like that history and learn about what's happening right now. So we constantly learning, you know what I mean? Like even now with the wars that are happening, it's not nice to hear that, but there's always something to learn about when you get closer to the people of the culture. Like when you learn something all the time. Yeah. If you are willing to, you will definitely learn. So Miss Immigrant has brought that opportunity for us to learn from others, to make friends with others. who thought in the world I will be friends with people from Nepali and love them so much? It's not like I don't love people, but I didn't think I was going to be able to embrace them like that, because every one of us, we always think our culture is the best. Yeah, we all
Yes.
believe my
Yes.
culture is the best,
Yeah.
and then you go meet other people and you realize, oh, wow, they also have it good. Oh, wow, this is wow, you learn so much.
Yeah.
So, like, for real, for me, I would do this so many times over and over again, and this has also inspired me to want to like with the programs that I was already doing with young people. Now I want to integrate something like cultural exchange programs. Yeah, because I realized how important culture is. It is us, and it's something that when you are young you don't look at, you don't care about. And with on Miss Immigrant, I started loving more of my cultural clothes. I really love it. Like, now I ordered more stuff because I realized, oh, I don't have enough. And I realized that I barely wore my cultural clothes. And now I'm wearing it with pride, and I'm teaching other people to actually embrace their culture as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I'm inspiring around me that are always saying good things to me about, oh my God, we like what you do. Even being on Miss Immigrant, I never used to be on social media. I never cared about social media. But now things have like in the world are work differently. They're not like the same, where you want to hide stuff about you. Like, the more you hide about you, the less you have the opportunities to work with people. People now go, even when you go for a job interview, they go to your Instagram
Yeah.
and they check, who
What
is
do you,
this person, what do they do, what is their habits.
yeah.
So now Miss Immigrant has also helped me pay more attention to that aspect of my life, like about social media, to say, oh, people need to see what I'm doing. There's nothing wrong with people seeing what I'm doing. I'm not bragging. I'm showing people what I do. I'm also teaching at the same time.
Amen to this. Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's a lot of teaching that happens. Like, because if I go to and that's also like the importance of us as participants, to make sure that we post about every event, and we post and we have the right caption that shows and tells people, okay, I was
Explain.
at
Yeah.
Bangladesh today.
Yeah.
Explaining, yeah. I was at Bangladesh event today. They were celebrating this event. There was this minister, there was this senator, there was this person. They're doing this. It's good, because now people are learning. Oh, okay. Not only is Miss Immigrant just has like a lot of beautiful women, but these women are not just like beauty queens, but they are also like contributing largely to our community, making a difference. They are teaching. I mean, like being like in Miss Immigrant, it gives you endless opportunities, because after this experience or during this experience, you can take this take advantage of it and start your own podcast. For instance, you can start your own TV program. You can start partnering with people. You can start do like even volunteering if you're not even volunteering, because there's a lot of opportunities to do that. I mean, if you look at like the Poro presidents, if you go to their website, there's always like volunteer opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, even sometimes when I feel like, okay, I'm not like, I have a lot of volunteer opportunities, of course, but sometimes I feel like, okay, you know what, this week my calendar looks like I have 3 4 events, and I have two Tuesday and Friday. Maybe I can use that to volunteer somewhere. Let me go to the Poro's president's page and see what opportunities they have for me. It's easy to sign up. Like, you just choose the days that are suitable for you and what you want to do, and you go and you just do the work. And that way you still
Yeah.
networking too, because all the time I go volunteer, I'm telling you, I come back, I have one more person that I've added, or two more people I've added to my contact list.
Yeah.
And it's substance too. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Gogo.
Welcome.
And we are so happy to have you. That's first of all. And you are doing amazing work. And I hope you continue bringing love and peace to the world. What wisdom would you like to share with other immigrants?
You see, for me, I feel like a lot of people always ask me a question like, "Oh, what have you learned since you moved here?" Of course, it's inevitable that I will learn.
Yeah.
When you are in a different environment, you will learn, like it or not, you will learn. But what I've learned is what I like to talk about, what I've unlearned. Because I came with a different culture. I came with a different mind. I came with a different exposure. I mean, where I came from, I know certain things that work and they work there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what worked for me there will work here.
Yeah.
So I'll advise a lot of immigrants that if they do want to be wise immigrants, they have to keep their minds open. Having an open mind is what's going to make you wise. Because when you have an open mind, you are already open to learning, and learning comes in different forms. You can learn bad things, you can learn good things. Yeah, so it's your choice. But when you are wise, you learn good things because you already don't want to repeat the same mistakes that you've been going through. And you are definitely going to make mistakes as a person. As an immigrant, it's expected you will make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn as a person. So with me, all I can say to people is that have an open mind and be willing to learn so that you can make friends and know so much about, expand your knowledge. Let me just put it that way. To expand your knowledge, you're going to learn. Like for me, I had to learn about American history as well. I mean, I'm sure for you as well, Magdalena, and I'm sure for a lot of other people. There's no ways you will be running this big organization if you were not willing to learn from other people's cultures. You had to learn from their culture for you to be able to do what you're doing and to do it the way you're doing it, so that people can have respect for you. You can also have respect for other people's culture. It's very necessary and very important. And also, we need to realize that not everything that we've learned from our homes is going to be applicable or is correct. And I grew up learning, like we say, it says, if you grow up thinking your mom is the best cook and not visiting other people's homes, you're going to die thinking your mom was the best cook. And it's the truth, it's just something that we just said. Like, we all believe that we are the best of the best. Our culture is the best of the best. But when you start meeting other people's culture, then you realize, oh, wow, Chinese are more united. Oh, they love to do this. Oh, I didn't even know Chinese can dance like that. Oh, you didn't know Nepali people can do this. We get surprised every day that people can, there are people that are better than you. There's always going to be someone better than you. But you can always learn from someone. That's where the open mind comes in. That's when that if I come to a place anywhere and I come with an open mind, then I can learn a lot of things and I can unlearn some of the things, because we do learn also bad things, like I said, even from our cultures, even from our parents, even from our people. Those things, like I'm talking about, is anger. One of them, it's something that I had when I moved here. I moved here because as a result of a tragedy. I was angry. Most immigrants, when they come to a place, they are angry. They can be polite and nice and whatever, but they are angry. They don't even realize it. They have to unlearn certain things. They have to unlearn that, oh, you know what? I'm not entitled. Yeah, maybe I've learned that in my culture that I deserve this and that, especially men. When from their culture, they learn that they are treated a certain way, and then they feel like they are entitled. And then you get to America, you realize that, oh, people don't think that way here, and women here are maybe more independent, or maybe this. So it's not about that. And then you start, when you're open-minded, you start unlearning things that are not as good. You start feeling like, okay, you know what? I don't have to bring what my culture has taught me about hate or about this. They didn't teach me hate in my home, but I'm just saying, some people come with that attitude. I'll say, for instance, I have a friend of mine who's from the Middle East who told me that they are taught to hate. They are taught to do this. And we were talking about unlearning things, and he was telling me that he had to unlearn that, to not hate.
Yeah.
He has to unlearn that, because it's something that he knew, it's something that he has to do. And I was blown away, because I never thought someone will be taught to be hateful.
Right. Yes.
You understand? Yeah, and truly, when you think about it, like we do learn to be hateful as people, because look at the kids. Kids know nothing about color or race and when you see them play together, love each other, a white child and a black child, they kissing and they hugging and this, and you hear the parents say, "Hey, don't touch this child. Hey, don't do this. Hey, don't." It comes from us learning.
Yeah.
So as much as we can learn hate, we can unlearn it, and we can learn to love as well as people. So yeah. So for me, that's the big thing. Like like there's so much you can do to be a wise immigrant. You can learn to love. You can learn to unlearn certain things. You can open mind. You can be open minded as an immigrant, and you can embracing who you are and working in your true self is what can make you wise as an immigrant. Because yeah, like there's no mistake that you are at a certain country, or like me, there's no mistake. I'm here to teach people about my culture.
Yes.
People need to know like who Gugu is, what South Africa is about. They need to know what Zulus are. So I cannot take that for granted and not take the opportunity to teach people.
I have another question for you, Gogo. You attended so many different events, community events, elected official events, and you met so many immigrants from different countries. What do you think we as immigrants can do better to unite ourselves, to create more peace between us, more conversations, so there is less problems and we can all kind of more empower each other?
First, I think I don't know if it's just me, but I've also heard similar stories that I've shared maybe with fellow immigrants, that there's problems, first of all, within our own communities. So for us to go solve other problems out there, it starts at home. Like if you cannot get along with people that you like, your people, your family. Usually it's not the case that you'll get along with your family, but at least you need to accept them for who they are. Embrace people, even if they are different from you, even if they think differently from you. It starts with us embracing who we are, knowing who we are, embracing each other, loving each other regardless. And then we can spread the love out there. Like it's pointless for me to say I hate my community and then I'm out there embracing everyone's community. It makes no sense. you know so I can start with saying, like, we need to try within our communities first with ourselves, before even our communities, because when we are at peace with ourselves, then we are able to love and welcome other people and embrace them. Yeah. Secondly, so now we are with our communities, we're embracing them. There may be a lot of problems with my community. I know I do the best that I can to reach out and to love and support, but I don't feel the same love, which is normal. It's fine. Some people have their own problems. Some people feel like they have their rights more than you do because they've been here longer than you have. You'll find situations like most of the times immigrants struggle because of other immigrants. They usually don't struggle because of the people that are already there, that are like let me say native. No, we usually struggle because of other immigrants as immigrants. You understand? Because sometimes there are people that feel more entitled. They feel like, oh, they deserve better than you do because they feel like they've been here 40 years and you've been here for 5 years. So they feel like, no, you shouldn't be where you are. Who are you to come here and think you can get to this stages they've been trying to get to? Like, so it's always like gonna be that case. But we need to understand, you know what, people are always gonna be people, and we're going to have to love them anyway. Yeah. So I just feel like the problems that, like, how we can solve our problems is more like to have more understanding. Yeah, and to be there for each other as well. Because I've seen how hard it is, from my experience being an immigrant. You don't know where to go, you have no support. It's Thanksgiving, you have no one to spend that day with. You don't have anywhere to go for Christmas. you know, like you find yourself in a crisis, you don't know who to reach out to. So it is very important that we stay connected with our fellow immigrants, because they are the ones to help you if anything happens. If anything happens now, I'm not saying the native people won't help you. They will help you, but most of the time the people that will be more understanding, that will shield you, protect you, are the ones that are in the same shoes as you are. But we just need to find the right kind of people. And then we also, like, the ones that are the right kind of people, need to teach the people that are not doing it right, to say, listen, this is your brother, this is your sister, we are all in one boat. Let's respect each other, let's help each other move forward. We have information. I have information, being here for 5 years. I already have experience. I already have information. If someone is coming tomorrow, I have information that can assist them move forward. So that's the way I feel we can help each other, by giving each other information, direct each other the right way, show each other love and respect, embrace each other, accept each other for who we are, for our differences, because we're always going to be different, even if you are born from the same womb, the same mother, grown in the same home, there's always going to be like difference, a lot of difference. Yeah, imagine about someone who's coming from a different home, different culture, different nationality, different everything, how they think, like, from you, like, it's different.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
maybe, like, we should not think like we are an island of everything, of all the knowledge, of all, like, no one is an island of knowledge. We can only learn and learn and teach and learn from others. So that's what I want to do. Like, in my own position, I want to use the stages that I find myself in, to at least empower others that want to be where I am, or influence them. Even influence is empowerment, but the right type of influence, that's also empowerment.
Yeah.
We're not all gonna be like going to the UN. We're not all gonna have like NGOs. We're not all gonna be at Immigrant USA. We're not all, but at least use what I've learned here to impact positively, to others, or influence them positively. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gugu. Gugu, if somebody would like to follow you on social media or connect with you, what is the best way to do that?
Okay, I'm available on two platforms, actively available on Facebook and Instagram. I use the same name as well, Gugu Makhari. So I'm going to spell it out for other people, like, to make it easy. GUGU Makhari. Yeah, so it's the same name on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And I want to say as well a big thank you for joining me today and sharing your immigrant story and your wisdom and all the amazing things that you do for the community, because I had a chance only once to participate with you at the food kitchen, and I saw what amazing job you do, and it's really a hard work. I really salute to you for all what you do, Google.
Thank you. I love doing it. Yeah.
That's great.
Something I'm passionate about. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, and for sure we're going to do it again, and we're going to talk about other things. But that was a great introduction, and I want people to know you, know what you do, so then even more right people can come on your way, that can lift you up, that can help you work on the bigger missions, help more people.
Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity here. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks, Magdalena. You have a lovely day, okay?
Thank you.